Hi everyone, Amazing here. Welcome to the last video of this Excel dashboard tutorial right here on YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to actually create this very mini dashboard and switch between them. In the previous video we actually created these buttons and as well this particular analysis we have right here, which is this very mini dashboard. So what we're about to do right now is actually to switch between this particular mini dashboard right here and as well turn it off every single time we really want to actually see more about the dashboard, which is having this whole view of this particular dashboard, just like what we have right now. We might still want to get it more clean than what we have right now. We can turn off the filter we have right here. We just have something very clean as this. So I'm going to show you how to create these particular wonders right now. So if you've not been a subscriber on my YouTube channel, you might really want to avail yourself the opportunity of subscribing to get more updates about my new upload every single time I drop in your video right on this channel. So right now, to begin with, I'm going to actually hit on the right workbook right now to start creating this as we think it should be. So right now, here we go. So now this is the workbook right here. We might have some kind of rough work right here, as you can see. So let me deselect this and show you how to open it up. I'm going to actually have to turn this off as well for now. So we have this dashboard that's some kind of messy. In the video number 1 and 2, we've actually created this analytics you'll see right here. But right now, what we're about to do is just to write some little VBA code to actually help us with our analysis. If I click on this, nothing is happening, no action. It's just some kind of plain button right here that just got some name. So the first thing I'm going to do is just to highlight the whole dashboard together. The whole buttons together right here. I'm going to highlight this as well. So if I have this particular four buttons, what I'm going to do is just to actually pop up this particular dialog box that is going to actually help us, which is this format object. Now we have this format object. So if you look at what I've done, I have 5 buttons, but I only have one unhighlighted. So I'm going to go here right here and actually have to put this one on 100%. Right now, what means I actually have to remove the transparency. Is I put transparency and take the color off. So right now this is actually inactive position. So every single time I turn off my dashboard, this is going to be all inactive because none of the mini dashboard is being active. But when I click on this particular color will be right here. This is going to be turned off. That is exactly what I really want for it. So I'm going to cancel out. The next thing or the next step we're going to take right now is for me to actually click at the top and show you something very wonderful. So I'm going to go right here to this particular page layout. So if I click on it, you can come right here and select this selection parent. So click on it right here and here we go. So if I click any of this particular buttons right here, so what you see is this particular button. We're going to check it out where it is actually is, and we have a name for it. So now we have named this particular to be BTN turn off, and if I click on this particular country we have right here, so I'm going to actually have to see is BTN 1 here. It's going to be BTN 2. You see it highlighted. BTN 3 is here. You see it highlighted as well. So it is very easy to be named. You can actually click on it, and when you double click, you can actually highlight and name your button any way you like. So now remember the name we actually give to this particular BTN. So the second thing again we can actually have to name is actually the mini dashboard we have right here should be named. Now the mini dashboard had been named into board country, and if we click on board item, it's going to highlight the item dashboard, just like what we have right here. And if I highlight this board region, it has this particular region highlighted, and channel would have this highlighted. Don't worry, you would understand how everything goes. If I should actually click on this particular eye icon, so what I'm going to have is this particular dashboard is going to disappear. If I click on it back again, it's going to reappear. This is what we want to actually make dynamically. So right now, after knowing all this, what we need to do right now is start with our VBA. So if you actually go right here, just hit on this particular developer. In case you can't find developer, click on any of this particular aspect right here. Just right click on it and go to customize ribbon. So now if it gives you this particular pop-up, just click on developer. If it is not selected, hit on select and actually hit on OK, and you're gonna have it. So I'm gonna cancel out. So the other thing you're gonna do right now is the way you're gonna save your file. So go to file. If all you say is not working, just follow my steps. Go to your file and actually save as. So because I've saved before, I'm going to actually go to where I saved it and show you how you can actually save, or the kind of file format you need to actually save your file to. Now here we go. We have YouTube as what YouTube on and offline dashboard creation lesson. So now the kind of format you want to save it to, not CSV or whatever, just go to what Excel macro enable workbook and click on it, and now you just click on save. Because I have it saved before, I'm going to cancel out. That is the kind of format we're going to use. So now the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to actually still go back, and this time around I'm going to go to Visual Basic. So because I have this particular, I have another dashboard open that has macro in it before, so it's actually giving me this. So what I'm going to do right now is to hit on this particular workbook right here. This is 2 workbooks we have right on this particular we have VBA we have opened. So now I'm going to actually click on this and go to this particular insert and hit on insert module. Now I have a new module open right now, so this is my new module. So you can decide to rename your module. Just click on this particular that is exactly property windows, so and have it named to something. But I'm gonna have to name it underscore show menu underscore dashboard underscore board. So show menu board. So what I've just done is this. I'm gonna actually have to close this. So now this and that module I have opened, and I have named my module, which is module show mini board. So now we're going to start up with a function. Now to create a function, what are we going to do? It's very, very simple. So we're going to say function, just like in any other programming language. I'm going to say function. So function. So the function is going to have a name. So I'm going to say show underscore menu underscore board. So that is exactly what we need to do to create a function. We've just created a function. This is the function, but now we need to actually create what? We need to create object for it. So I'm gonna say mini board, so not mini, it's gonna be mini underscore board. So now as what? It's gonna be as what? As object. So you won't understand what the object is all about in a jiffy. So I'm gonna say active what? Active as boolean. So let us walk through this and see what it is that we're actually trying to do. So now if I now hit enter, so it's gonna close my function for me. The next thing I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna actually use my first object, which is gonna be with mini underscore board. So that is exactly what it is. So I'm gonna actually have to end with. So the width I've actually created, I'm gonna have to close it. And the next thing I'm gonna do right now, between this particular width, I'm gonna actually have to use if insert. So if it's gonna actually check this particular button we have right here, if it is active, which means if any of these particular buttons right here is active, which is gonna be if. So I'm gonna say if active is equal to what? Is equal to true. So if active is equal to true, then what you need to do is we need to change the color of the text. So can you see that? So if this particular boolean is true, which is if active, the activeness of this, like this one is active now, I'm going to change the color to white. So already it's on white, but we're still going to actually write the function that's going to actually help us to work around it dynamically. So now what we need to do is just to say text frame. So text frame dot character. So dot character is dot font dot color. So it's equal to RGB. So RGB, and we're gonna actually have to open bracket, and actually what color do we really want is white. So white is gonna be 255 comma 255 comma 255. So we can now have it closed. That is exactly what we need, and we can set the transparency to 0. So now for dot fill dot transparency. So sorry for my writing. So dot fill dot transparency. So it's equal to what? It's equal to 0. then hash. That is exactly what it is. So we've actually set transparency to this. So now what we need to do right now, I'm going to say if this is not the case, which is else, which means if this is not the case, what do you want me to do? So we need to actually copy this and actually recycle through it right now and just make a little trick on it. If this is not the case, just copy this from here, copy, and actually have it dropped here. We don't need to actually write it over and over again, so we're going to drop it right here. What I'm going to change right now is this right here, and I'm going to show you why. So now what we have right now is this. If I come right here right now, I just come to this particular aspect and click on this, and actually on the right click on it and actually go right here and say format shape. So what I'm going to say is that we have this to be on 0%, which means we need to actually have a color that actually shows the color of the button. So if I go to my what, I'm going to actually have to drag this right here to actually show you this perfect example. Oh, sorry. Okay, for we to get a perfect example, I'm going to actually leave it here. I'll go right here and actually bring this up. So I'm going to take this to this end. So now if you see, I'm actually selecting this one with color, and it gives me 0, which means if it is if it is 0, it has color. If it is 1, we've actually removed we've actually put the transparency to 100. So 1 is 100% and 0 means there is no, 0 means there is fill, and 1 means no fill. So you will understand it better when you get it template downloaded. You will definitely look inward and see what it is that we're actually trying to achieve right here. So right now let us go back to our Visual Basic. So here we go. Visual Basic is right here again, so bring it down to this level. The next thing we're going to do right now, we've actually gotten this particular aspect right, so we're going to say and if. So we're going to actually close our if, else we're going to have some errors. And if, so I'm going to have to bring this bring this up a little bit. Okay, fine. So now we are done from here. The next we're going to do right now is now we've actually done with the kind of color we want for our buttons. So the reason why I'm actually wanting white for this particular inactive aspect is because if I give it black or any other color, it's not going to appear very well on this particular background we have right here. So I have both white for active and inactive aspect of it. So the next thing we're going to do right now is for we to actually make a switch between our mini dashboard. So I'm going to actually have to click and go down. So now let me show you something before we go further. So right here, if I click on it, I have something hidden here for you guys to actually take a look at. So I'm gonna actually right click on this. If I right click, I'm gonna go right here and actually make it visible by actually removing the transparency I have for it. So I have this particular hidden that is going to actually help me to turn off my dashboard. So every single time I actually put it off, this is going to be active. For that, I'm going to leave it like this for now, for we to take control of this dashboard. Then we're actually going to hide it away from viewer so that we can actually create a very nice looking dashboard. So if I have this closed right now, I'm going to actually make this active because I need it to be watched open as we actually create this along. Okay, here we go. Now the first thing I'm going to do right now is for me to actually go and create my active sheet. So just I'm going to say sub. So what sub does is this. Sub, the first one I'm going to be creating is off. Sub underscore, okay, sub. So I'm going to say sub turn underscore off. So sub underscore turn off. So now if I hit enter, so what I'm gonna have right now is this. I'm gonna have to expand this to go to the top level. So now between this particular sub and end sub, I'm gonna have my code right here, which means whatever code I've written right here is gonna actually work for this particular aspect right here. It's not gonna get effect on any other aspect. So now between this sub, I'm gonna say dot shape. Dot shapes. So what is the name of the first of the dashboard we're actually trying to show right now? Is that we're gonna actually turn it off. This is what we're gonna show for now. This is what we're gonna show, but we're gonna actually make this one invisible. As we turn, I was actually click on that and it is visible. It's gonna actually turn off the other dashboard. So let us see the trick we're gonna actually use right now. So I have this particular quotation mark open. I'm gonna say we've actually had it named. If you want to actually look at what name it is, so just click on this particular but off. Now this is what it is. So now if I go back to my Visual Basic, so I'm gonna have to type in this particular name we just seen right here, which is this particular name right here. I'm gonna say bud underscore off. So I'm gonna have to close the quotation mark. I'm gonna say okay. Now if dot visible, so dot visible equal to true. So now what I've just done is this. In this particular dashboard right here, in this particular sheet we have right here, I just need to write something. I'm gonna say with active sheet. I'm so sorry for that. With active sheet. So with active sheet, and we have to come down right here and close this particular I'm gonna say end with. Okay, fine, that is done. So it's between here. So the reason why I say with the active sheet, meaning we can use this particular code on any sheet. So right now with the present sheet we are into right now, we have buttons inside this particular sheet that is named bud of. So if the visibility is true, I want it to what? I want it to show up. Now the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to copy this particular code right here and recycle through it, and I'm going to actually have to go and drop it down 4 good times, so which create 5 codes. So right now we have the 5th one as well. So the remaining 5th one I'm going to actually have to say false, which means I'm going to turn this off. It's not going to be active. I'm going to turn this off as well. So now we have only this one to be what? To be active, which is this particular one right here, to be visible. For now, others are false. They're not going to show up. It is only this one that's going to show up, so it's going to help us to turn off our dashboard. Don't worry, when we're done with this, you understand the logic I'm just trying to place right here. You might have better idea to do this if you are using VBA to actually create a dashboard as well. So right now we've just done this. So the next thing we're going to do right now is to change this particular aspect to the right dashboard. So the first one I'm going to actually create now is this particular country. I just want to make it to be some kind of hierarchical from off, country, region and stuff like that, and we have all of that named right here. If we click on, or if you write in a wrong one, it's not going to work for us. So I'm going to say country, but country, and this one is going to be region. So I'm going to actually have to type in region right here. So region. So now we have off, country, region, item and channel right here, so which is very much complete. So the next thing we're going to do right now is that we have actually done with what? We are done with our first code by actually bringing up the what? By actually bringing up the dashboard. But now we need to work with, I want to work around with the button. So every single time we have this particular button click to switch between these particular dashboards, we want the button being clicked to be some kind of active. So how do we do that? So I'm gonna actually have to take this 2 steps. Now here we go. So it is the function we have created that we're going to be calling right now. So let us go and copy the function so that we can actually copy the right function or write the right function. So now I have this particular function copied right here, and I'm going to go down right now to actually use the function the way I really desire to use it. Now I'm going to actually say call. So now we call the function call show mini bud. So now that we've called the function, I'm going to actually insert shape inside this particular function. I'm going to say dot shape, just like what we've done right here. So dot shapes. So what shape do we have inside here? The shape we have right inside here, the first shape is actually btn. So let me show you what the btn is. So now the first one is, if I click on here right now, I'm going to make sure it's highlighted. So now it's btn. I'm going to go down and show you what the btn is. Now here is it. We have it btn. So btn of btn 1 2 3 4. So if I go back to my Visual Basics, here we go. We need to actually say okay, now this is btn underscore off. So I have this quotation mark closed, I have this closed, and right now what I'm going to do is to use comma, and once I hit comma it's going to show me what do I want, true or false. I'm going to say now true. So if I say true, that is okay. I'm going to have to close this and I'm going to hit enter. Now this is okay. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to recycle through this. I don't need to actually write this over and over again, just like what we've been doing. I'm going to copy this away from here. Just click on copy, and now we can copy this down all good 4 times and to create 5 of it. Now here we go. We've actually called our function and we say it's all true. Now we need to actually turn this to false. So we turn this to false. It's very easy to be done. Now they're all set to false, which means every single time this particular button is active, this very button is actually clicked, is going to be active, while this is going to be showing up and it turns off automatically. Now here is what we've just got it. So this is actually this number one aspect of this particular aspect. So the next thing we're going to actually be doing right now is to make sure we actually insert the right button right here, which when we highlight this we put button 1, and when we highlight this one aspect right here we put a second button in between here, and the third button is going to go in between here as well, while the fourth buttons goes in between here. We've just actually put in the right buttons right now. So this is actually cool, right? Alright, now that we've done this, the next thing we're going to do right now is to recycle through the whole of our code. So what we need to do is just to highlight this particular aspect right here and actually hit on copy. So when we copy this, I'm just going to go down and actually click on twice and drop it down. So what we're going to do right now is just to change this particular aspect to what? To the next particular button. So what is the next button? The next button is actually country. I'm just going to click on and type in country right here. So country. So right now that I've actually turned that into country, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to actually put false right here. You can see how simple this will look like. I'm going to say false. So now what is going to be true right now is that I'm going to actually turn on my country. It's going to be true. So now exactly I'm going to be doing the same thing to this as well. I'm going to say false. So now I'm going to actually turn on the button right now to be active, which is going to be true. So this is exactly what we need to do. We're actually done with this as well. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is to go and actually have to drop this down for the next dashboard. So the next mini dashboard is going to be what? It's going to be region. So I'm going to type in region right here. So that is my region. So I'm going to have to turn this particular aspect here to be what? To be false, and locate where we have region. Make sure all your spelling separate. So now where we have region is this particular aspect. So this is what is going to be true right now. So I believe you are getting what we are doing right here. So just double click on it. So now we have this button to be very active right now, which is going to be true. So we have 2 steps to go. I'm going to actually go down 2 steps, and now we have this one to be turned towards to item. I'm going to turn this on to item. So now what we need to do is just turn this into what? Into false, and have the item turned into true, where we're going to have the mini dashboard pop up. So now we turn it as well into false. So we turn this into, which is the item button, is going to be into what? Into true. Exactly. So we have one left. So what we need to do is just to drop the last one in and actually make a change to it. And this one is going to be channel. So you can decide to say, no, it's not more turn off, it's actually turn on. And now I'm going to actually have to go and actually change this into what's on. So instead of off, I'm going to put on right there, so you can change the whole of it into that. So what we need to do right now is just to say, okay, now this one is going to be false. So while we actually turn this into true, because this is the last one, channel, and now I'm going to turn this one into false, and this one is going to be into true. So now let's see what it is. So we've just done something like this. Now we can click on it to see if this is really working for us. So if I actually click on this particular run right here, so it's going to actually help me to run my code. Now we can see now it's changing to this because it's running. So if I click on this particular aspect right here and actually run the same code again, now it changes to something else. Now this is exactly what we really need to actually create. So now I'm gonna actually have to close everything right here, and now I'm gonna actually have to go here and assign my macro to every individual of this particular buttons. So now we can see this particular assign macro, click on it and give it to the respective of this. But before then, I'm actually gonna close this particular dashboard we have right here. So for now, I don't need this one to be here. I'm going to some kind of have to close it down, and no, I don't want to save, don't save, so I can actually have some kind of clean slate. So here we go. I'm going to right click on this particular aspect here and actually select this particular assign macro. Now we have this. So I'm going to say turn off. I'm going to just click on that. So now for this particular country, so I'm going to actually select it and go to what assign. So you can actually turn this to like one country. Now we have on channel, so we need to actually put this on, not on turn off again. So we made a mistake, so we don't go and actually mess things up. So I'm just gonna double click on it, click on this as well. I'm gonna go do the same thing to this, and here we go, assign macro. So this is actually the region, so you make sure you're clicking on region. So select region, here is our region, double click on it, that is done. So for this second to the last right here, do the same thing to it and actually have to select this particular assign macro. Now select where we have item, here we go, don't give it the wrong one, double click on it, that is all you need to do. Now if we select this particular channel right here, we're gonna go and do the same thing. We hit on this assign macro. Now here is our channel, here is our channel. So make sure you're actually selecting the right one, else it's going to give you the right dashboard. So you can click on OK if you feel like. Now if I select from here and click on country, let's see the kind of dashboard it shows us. Right clicking on country, now it's showing us sales channel because we have the wrong one created or clicked. So now I'm going to actually click on country. That is what it is. If you follow instruction, you're going to actually have that kind of thing to actually pop out. So now I'm going to select on country right here. Here we go. Now if I should click on country, let me see what I have. Okay, clicking on country, I have my country. Let's see what region does. Now this is region, and if we select this one, it's going to give us item. Now this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now we have all this showing right now. So what do? We need to actually turn it off. I'm gonna click right here on this particular aspect right here, and it's gonna turn off. It's really off right now. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna select this right here and right click on it, and I'm just gonna go to this particular aspect, and now I'm gonna turn this off. That's exactly what I need to do. So now it's not showing any longer. Now I've turned it off, nothing is showing, nothing is really showing. This is exactly what it is that we need to do. But right now, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go to the top level and actually go to this particular page layout and select this, and I'm gonna turn everything on. So I have everything turned on. So what are we doing this for? I'm turning this off. Okay, so I'm gonna take this off. So right now I'm going to select this. If I have it selected, I'm selecting this as well. I'm selecting this, and I'm selecting this. So now we need to arrange our dashboard. So if I go to this particular format and click on align, so I'm going to say align center. From that, I'm going to say middle. Exactly, we have a dashboard to be one for now. So I'm going to actually have to like click on this particular dashboard and make sure I have it right here, sitting right here. Okay, I think I'm cool with what I'm having now. This is exactly what I need to do. I've arranged my dashboard, my mini dashboard very well now, so I can actually deselect it. So here we go. If I actually click on this particular off, it turned it off for me. If I click on country, it gives me country alone. Click on region, and you have just region. This is one aspect you need to actually get to learn and make your dashboard be more professional and create a very clean dashboard. So it is very easy. All you just gotta do, if you don't understand what we've done right here, is to watch this over again and see how it should be done. So now the next step is for we to actually create our filter. How do we create our filter? Now we need to actually create filter that filters through this particular dashboard for us. How do we do that? Now it might be very simple, but we have some kind of little complication because we want to actually make sure the filter color matches this particular color we have right here. So let's see how we go by that. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to click on my insert and actually hit on this particular aspect, and I click on this. So I'm going to drag this down and bring it down here exactly. So what I need to do right now, I can actually get this color with ease. It's very easy. You get the color from here. So once you get the color from here, it's time for you to start getting your. So now we have this color. So I'm gonna actually have to bump it up a little bit. So we need to actually get our filter on it. So I'm gonna actually have to use just maybe 1 or 2 filter to actually show you what it is. For we to have our filter right here, or our slicer right here, so we can actually click on this particular analysis sheet, and we can go to this particular aspect. Let me see where can we actually have to plug in our filter right now. Okay, let's say we have our filter right here. So I'm gonna actually click here and go to this particular analyze. From analyze, I'm going to select my slicer, where it's going to be the filter we're going to be using. So once we have this clicked, so we can now choose from here. So right now I'm going to choose my region. So I choose region, and from region, what we need to do as well, we can actually add the sales channel if we think that is going to be cool. We can add sales channel, we can add country. We have a lot of columns to add right here to actually filter through our data. So I'm going to actually add sales channel for now, and I'm going to say okay, so just show you some kind of sample. I really want you to understand what it is and how to create your own custom slider that is going to actually go along with your dashboard. So fine, here we are again. So I have this drop in here. So once I have this drop in here, what I'm going to do right now is just that I'm going to deselect it, and I'm going to have to pick one. So at a time, so bring this right here and make sure you expand this a little bit to actually fit into this particular dashboard of ours. So now I bring this to the top exactly, so we can actually make this go down. So now we can get this and actually minimize it. So bring this particular one right here as well. So what I'm going to do right now, the inactive one is what I'm going to actually get out. So just right click and go to what slider settings. So from that I'm going to hit on this no and hit OK. So what I'm going to do right now, I want to change the color of this particular slider to this particular color. So what I'm going to do is just click on my the board we have right there and hit on this particular color aspect of it. So it's going to show you the color we are having right here. If I click on this particular aspect, it shows us the color. Go to custom. It is not really showing for now, so I'm going to go right here and select this. Maybe that is going to work for us. Okay, I think this is the color for now. I have gotten to see what it is we are looking for. So hit on this particular tab right here, go to this and see the color we have for it. This is the color. So right now I've chosen the color. Just go back and copy the color code, go to the more, and from more, here is the color code is this. So we need to actually select the color code. It's going to be 1741. I'm going to copy this away from here. So just remember 1741 right there. So cancel it and click on your slicer. Just remember 1741 and go to what option, and here you go. So instead of me to choose from here right now, I'm going to actually show you how to create it from the scratch. So go to duplicate, and here we go. For the whole slicer, I'm going to say okay. For the whole slicer, what I'm going to do is just going to be for the border. I'm going to remove the border, no border, and I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go to more. So from more, go to custom, 1741. So it's going to be 17, and here is going to be 41. So 41. So I would have to drop the one I copied to remember all this. So now if I hit OK, this is what it is. I don't know if I get this right. Yeah, something like this. So now is that is it. So I can actually say okay to this, and I'm going to say okay to this. So now for the header, you can actually come to the header right here, go to format, and you see, go to this particular more and hit on custom. You can see the color we have for that. It's right here. So you can actually always copy the code just the way I did. So just remove this, say no border. That is exactly what you need to do. So now for the hover, you want to actually give some kind of effect to hover. So select the one with data and actually go to what? Go to format. So for the hover, you have white background for it and all of that. So if I click on OK and I hit OK right here right now, so I'm kind of going back to this and just click on this, and here we go, we have this for this. If I hit on this, so we go and select the same thing, and we go right here, we have this. This is exactly what we have. So we can see our dashboard is looking very, very nice, just like the way we have the previous one I have closed. So the next thing right now, I'm going to get some kind of set an icon right there, go to insert and hit on this particular aspect right here where we go to this, pick this, and now I'm going to go right and have this drop down. Oh, now I have this. So if I right click on this, I kind of go and remove the field color and change it to something I really like. So no fill. So right now I'm going to crank this up. So yeah, let's see. Oh, that's a little too much. Deselect some of it. So we need to give it some kind of nice color. So I'm going to come to this particular color aspect right here and make sure I select this color. So right now I'm good with this. So I can actually have to deselect from here. So I have this right now. So now that we have this, what we need to do is just to write a code that is going to actually help us to do wonder. So now I'm going to select here and have here selected as well, and select it with this particular panel right here and have it grouped together. That's going to help us a lot. So I'm going to have it grouped together. So now that I have it grouped together, I'm going to select the top level, and I'm going to select my panel. I have it selected already here, and I click on it and name the group filter panel. Written together is cool. It's not really bad. So all I'm going to do right now is just to copy this away from here. So I'm going to copy this, and I have this already. So I can now have to close this away from here and go back to what our Visual Basic. Write a very, I think it's just like 3 to 4 lines of code that's going to help us to do that. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. So go to the top a little bit. So now we kind of go right here. So here we go. So now if I have to go, I'm going to say with, okay, I'm going to say sub. Show underscore filter. So show underscore filter, and I'm going to say with active sheet. So it's active sheet. And wait, so now between this particular with active sheet, so I'm gonna have to write my code right here. If active sheet dot shapes, so inside it we have this particular shape named this file filter panel. So I'm gonna have it close. Is dot what? Dot visible is equal to true, or is equal to false for the first time. So then, so we're just gonna recycle through this over and over again, right? So then active sheet dot shape. So we're still gonna call the same shape, and here we go. So I will just explain to you what it is. So dot visible. This to run the visibility is gonna be what? Equal to true. So it's gonna be else active sheet dot shapes. So we do the same thing So that is why I always talk about recycling. I just want to show you to get it clearly before we actually recycle through most of our codes in the next video we're going to be producing. Visible is equal to false. So now let me explain to you what we are trying to do with these 3 lines of code right now is that if active sheet, like in this particular active sheet, has some kind of name that is named, some kind of shape that is named our filter panel. So inside the filter panel, inside that shape right there, if it is not visible, once we have this particular button we're going to actually be assigning this to clicked, it should be active, which is it should be true. Then the visibility should be true. But if we click it again, it should be false. So let's see what it is that we are trying to achieve. If I actually shift this away from here and have this clicked, right now I have some kind of error, so which means my if is not closed. And wait, and if. So now let's see what is going on. So I have it hidden, I have it shown, I have hidden. I'm gonna go back here and actually click on this particular aspect, and now I'm gonna assign this to this button. So now let's see what it is. The name we give to it, show filter. So that is exactly what it is, show filter. So right now I'm gonna click on this and it's gonna actually show my filter just like the way it shows it right now. You can see the filter. Every single time I place a filter, we're gonna see all this particular aspect we have the filter connected to get to be filtered just like that. So now this is how awesome it could be to actually create this kind of dashboard. I believe you understand the context of this particular dashboard right now. So right now this is very easy to be created. It's just for you. I think I've shown you in most of my video how you can actually get this to be very dynamic, to the transaction, country, region, and stuff like that. Just for you to drop it just the way we actually did this one. So we've done enough for this particular tutorial. It is very nice tutorial all through. I just want to say thank you for you to stay to the end of this particular project. If you've been watching to this end, you are very awesome. I respect you so much because you're actually a very nice subscriber. So I want to say thank you to actually increase my visibility on YouTube. Without you there will be no me, and without me there will be you, because there are other channels out there that you can explore, but you still believe that my channel should be one of the channel you really take a look at every single time I drop a new video. I want to say thank you very much for watching this particular video. Thank you very much. Stay blessed, stay out of trouble, and believe in yourself always. Learn how to improvise. When you can't do it, just feel like you can do it. You will get there, as everyone has been there before. We're all gonna get there all through. So thank you very much for watching. Stay blessed and stay out of trouble.